Gentlemen and female gentlemen, praise the Emperor of Mankind and Tzeentch, my favorite duo in the weird yaoi fanfiction that I've been writing. That was a joke. That's not happening. But, ladies and gentlemen, I have covered all lore. Okay, I'm working on it. I'm in the process of covering all lore. As you know, Warhammer has been a big focus of mine for quite a while right now. I have been looking into the lore of Warhammer, every Primarch, every faction, every military. I have been diving deep into the Warhammer lore. And I have gotten to the point where I feel like I understand the lore well enough to dive into the memes. Because you see, memes are the language of culture. I have been saying this for a long time. Never in those words. That is a brand new quote, but I like it. We're keeping it. We're keeping the memes. Memes are the language of culture. I will be referencing it again in the future. So, that said, we have to see the cultural impact of the different factions of Warhammer through their memes. So, the meme guide to every Warhammer 40k faction by Auspex Tactics. This has been recommended to me, and I am very excited to see where this goes. You see, the God Emperor. You see, 500 trillion screaming fanatics can't all be wrong! Which is the best tagline I've ever seen. Alright, I wonder if this Nux shows I will cover all lore is just a reflection on how our personal pursuits are endless but give us purpose. Why the fuck would you apply some kind of intellectualism to my bullshit, okay? I just make content that's fun, and I will also consume all the lore ever. All right, let's see what we got.
So the Warhammer 40k galaxy is a big place, where mankind's locked in a never-ending war to preserve the realm of the God Emperor, who still...
Hey, it's the realm of humanity, and that is blasphemy. He's not the God Emperor, he's just the Emperor, who's a god. It's a totally different thing.
Seems to be everyone's guiding light in these dark times, despite sitting immobile on his golden throne for 10,000 years and not saying much no matter how many psychers we feed him.
Yeah, I fucking love the lore of Warhammer. All right, so we're gonna dive into every faction here. So are we already in the first faction? All right, we're in the Space Marines faction right now. So Space Marines are agents of the Imperium of Man. All right, this is gonna be a bit of a lore dive at the same time. Agents of the Imperium of Man, fighting against everyone that is not them, okay? There are two sides in this war. There is them and there is us. Now, us are the Imperium of Man, and them is everyone that is not us. They're all Xenos scum, and we must purge the heretics in the name of the Emperor, okay? It is as simple as that. It's not racism, it's speciesism, which makes it so much better. So let's see what we got about this. All right, endless war. The Emperor is a rotting corpse on the throne. Let's fucking go.
Foremost among his servants are the Space Marines, the genetically augmented super soldiers. His main deal is that they basically just fight against all the enemies of the Imperium. They get some very fancy ceramite power armor, which covers all your most important bits, and take to the battlefield with the very finest weapons that the Imperium...
When the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem begins to look like a nail! That's such a good line. Dude, everything said in the Warhammer universe just sounds so fucking awesome. Like, you don't understand. Everything in the Warhammer universe sounds so sick. Here, let me just randomly pull up some Warhammer fucking quotes. Every single Warhammer quote sounds so cool. All right, looking for badass short Warhammer quotes. The Emperor protects. In deaths we repent, and they shall know no fear. Right? Everything is badass. Suffer not the unclean to live. Burn the heretic. Excuses are the refuge of the weak. Okay, that one is fucking awesome. Holy crap. Glory to the first man to die. Forward, you dogs, to victory. Oh my god. I'll miss the scars I might have earned. Oh my god. I am the law and the lash, and you die when I say you die. That's not a wound. That's a scar for tomorrow. Every single fucking quote in the Warhammer universe is fucking awesome. Like, this is a show that fucking shits bricks and eats ammo.
Can provide crackling power weapons with which to obliterate your Japanese manga robots in space.
Yeah!
And of course devastating long-range firepower with which to obliterate the enemies of the Emperor from afar. They're some of the most elite troops in the galaxy,
yes, sir.
But that's not necessarily going to stop us giving them danger weapons that routinely can kill them to death.
Makes sense. Makes sense. You kill a lot of people to death in this universe. See, the beauty of the Warhammer universe is the fact that every single faction is so overpowered, none of them are overpowered anymore. It's like, there are thousands, tens of hundreds of thousands of Space Marines, okay? There are a lot of Space Marines. Like a lot. Each Space Marine could go up against fucking Darth Vader in a fight, okay? They're genetically altered, 2,000-pound power suits, 3 lungs, 2 hearts, regenerating psychic fucking death machines, okay? Like, each and every one of them. But every enemy is also so overpowered, it evens out.
Life as a Space Marine can be a hard...
Everyone's gangsta until the coffin starts walking!
...and dangerous one, but at least if you survive long enough, you get a nice peaceful retirement, which I guess beats going to the old folks' home. If you're looking from Games Workshop's point of view, Space Marines are basically your protagonists in Warhammer 40k.
Yeah. The Space Marines are definitely awesome. They're such a cool main group, but by far, not the coolest, in my opinion. I love the Space Marines, but bro.
More people collect them, so they make more things for them, so more people collect them. But
dude! Oh my god, they're everyone's favorite. So Games Workshop, Daddy Loves You Best, they make the most figures of them because people like them the most. That's the meme. Okay, alright. Alright, see, this is what I mean. We start to see the community approach to this shit through the memes. Memes are the language of culture. I don't remember if that was it, but we'll go with that.
So often there do have to be a few releases for the NPC factions. It's no fun being a superhuman Space Marine unless you've got a few Xenos punching bags to keep.
Oh my god, they just beef up the Xenos to be punching bags for the Space Marines? That's so sad.
Keep around. There is a downside to this though, as it will mean that Games Workshop will update your codex twice as regularly as anyone else's, meaning that you might be paying for quite a lot of paper over the years.
Yep.
And then maybe even a supplement book on top of that, if you want to run all the fun things out of your chapter. More recently in Space Marine history, they've invented the Primaris Space Marines.
They keep inventing new Space Marines to sell you. That's so sick. Nux is losing his brace cells to the awesomeness of Warhammer. Warhammer is so cool because it is sheer awesomeness. I feel like there's no other franchise that just completely captured me with pure and utter badassery incarnate. Ask not the Eldar a question, for they will give you 3 answers, all of which are true and terrifying to know. Dude, every fucking line.
Apparently these guys aren't here to invalidate the old armies or kill off the firstborn. They're just bigger, different, true-scale Marines with a nice, sleek, clean, and uncluttered aesthetic. Their arrival does seem to create a few weird
Calgar goes Primaris. Now can't ride an own Land Raider. No.
Rules though. We're not sure why, but Marnius Calgar has refused to get in a Land Raider ever since he crossed the Rubicon.
I love how the lore impacts the fucking figurines at the same way, the back and forth. It's so sick. Primaris Lieutenants. More choices than your entire HQ line. I guess being Daddy's favorite has its upsides and its downsides.
Of course, by far the most numerous of these new Primaris Marines are the Primaris Lieutenants. They're just the sort of model that you can never really have enough of within an army. You definitely couldn't kit bash these from regular intercessors, so it's probably best that their design studio just keeps on cranking out more of these, rather than addressing other factions. One of the best—
I'm gonna need a heavy flamer for this heresy. Emperor of Mankind. Respect all of you for wearing your camouflage. It will help you go undetected. The Space Marine Legions. What the fuck? Are they JoJo characters? They're actual JoJo characters. It's crazy. Because JoJo is also just pure badassery. You know the meme? The find the stand user meme? Yeah, let me pull this up. I love this meme. JoJo, the stand users could be anywhere. The stand users. I love this meme. We need to find the enemy stand users. They could be the stand users. Every time. Find the stand users. Wrong. Check again. No way. That's crazy. How did that happen? JoJo character. We need to find the enemy stand user when he's blending in. The enemy stand. Oh my god. Dude, nothing puts a smile on my face like JoJo's and Warhammer. Oh my god. I love it so much.
Best things about Space
It's like guess the Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist.
Marines, though, is that just how many different flavors there are of them. You can get Space Marines of just about every single color of the rainbow.
Let's go! You see that, baby? Now that there is promoting Pride Month or something.
Own lore, fighting style, and preferred flavor of ice cream. First and most definitely foremost, we have the Ultramarines.
Wait, what is this? What is this? Wait, hold on. I feel like there's something I have to know here. What the fuck am I looking at? You know, whatever, okay.
Blue Romany ones that take themselves very...
as I was saying, memes are the language of culture or something.
Seriously? They've got a unique and
I'm gonna need the heavy flavor for this heresy.
Interesting cast of characters such as Kato Sicarius.
Oh, painting fails because when you paint the Marines, alright, dude.
Marnius Calgar, Johnny Protagonist, Mary Sue, and all the others. The special thing that makes them interesting is that they have a book and they do the whole war thing better than everyone else. If you do want to show your superiority over the Ultramarines, though, you can always...
Because the Ultramarines just look like Smurfs with chainsaw swords. Like, as a simple example of badassery incarnate, this is a sword that's also a chainsaw. It's a sword and also a chainsaw! You don't even need to explain that shit. It's like a gun that shoots knives. It's like, holy moly.
Always make some incredibly clever jokes about them, such as calling them Smurfs, mispronounce their Primarch's name to Robot Gorilla Man.
Wait, I thought everyone called him Girly Man instead of whatever.
And make fun of his special Eldar friend. There are many, many other...
Whee! That face when you were so broken they had to nerf you more than once. Damn, that's rough.
Flavors of Space Marine, though. We've got the white zippy ones who really like to play Mongols on their bikes. Right. They're probably very disappointed that the Space Wolves have found Thunder Wolves, but they haven't found any Thunder Horses yet.
That's rough.
There's the Iron Hands, the black mechanical ones, the ones that came out in 8th edition, and
the Iron Hands there. Dude, I fucking love this lore so much. I love all the different groups and Marines and shit.
Everyone suddenly remembered that they were an Iron...
I've already done a video covering the lore of all the factions. I'm working on all the Primarchs right now. But dude, it's awesome.
And successor chapter after all. Their whole thing is that their flesh is really weak, so they like to cut it off and replace it with some iron-hard bionics.
My flesh is a little weak today. You know, it's all human and flesh-like. I'm gonna cut it off and replace it with bionics. I'm not badass enough. It's like if I take badassness and fuck more badassness to give birth to extra badass babies and then give them steroids.
Before they head off to fight the enemy. To be honest though, head off isn't really a phrase I'd use around them. Not given that...
No, because their Primarch was decapitated by Fulgrim. God damn it.
Thing that happened to their Primarch during the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, good times, good times. I've already done the lore dab on this one.
Then we've got Corvus's sneaky boys, the ones that like My Chemical...
Raven Guard players complaining about emo memes. Drukhari players, the extra emo. See, but they somehow turn emo into badass shit. It's easy. You just make everything more badass.
Or romance, and quoting Edgar Allan Poe at meaningful moments.
I'm a buff baby and I talk like a man.
They have the lofty aspirations of being the Spec Ops stealth Space Marines, which they do somehow manage to do, despite having bulky mechanical power armor, and also the slightly noisy giveaway of often strapping a jet engine to your back and hurtling through the air very...
I am stealthy. That is why I am using the supersonic extra loud jetpack.
Sneakily.
Dude, it's just so fucking awesome. It's like they're too badass to hear.
Still though, at least they paint their armor black. At least they might...
Are you even trying to stealth, bro? Is this guy in a 2,000-pound suit with jetpacks, bombs, and grenades, but he's painted black, so it's stealthy.
I blend in with the scenery a little bit better with some of the stealthy Marines of some of the other chapters.
I am stealth too. That's literally the JoJo meme. Real humanitarians kill their enemies with fire. Yes, yes. I love the salamanders.
Then we've got the nice green salamanders of Vulcan. They're all around good guys who actually feel that civilian life is worth preserving.
I love how these are the fighters for the humankind, right? The Imperium of man. But ultimately, the genius is, out of all 20 legions of Space Marines, I know 18, whatever, okay. There's only one legion that actually even has a semblance of care for civilians. How insane is that? Like, you would think the exception is the one that doesn't care about civilians. But no, the exception is the one that does care about civilians. Victory needs no explanation. Defeat allows none.
For its own merit alone. an ideology that's maybe just very slightly at odds with watching their enemies burn to death with their flamers.
It's honestly based. What do you mean? If you're burning people with their flamers, then that means that they were meant to die. Okay, you burned there was probably heresy over there that they needed to burn up.
Making a lot of their chapter kind of walking war crimes. And we've got the Imperial...
Yeah, but it's based war crimes! Geneva Convention? More like Geneva Suggestion!
Fists. They're basically the grown-up sons who never really got round to quite moving out of their parents' house. At least their fortifications make the place feel a little bit safer though. They do have a healthy dedication towards bolters and banana-coloured armour, and you've kind of got to respect that. Then we've got the Black Templars, the Space Knights who appear to...
dude, so much heresy, so little time. God damn.
Purge Xenos heretics and furries, at least according to a YouTube video I saw from Flashkits. Always nice to have some crusading knights around that we don't have to judge in the context of real-world history. And then we've got the Death Watch, inquisitorial Xenos hunters that Games Workshop thought needed their own codex, just to make sure that the loyalist Space Marines in Black Power armor niche was well and truly covered.
Nice.
Then we come...
I guess. Genius quiz. 90% of people answer wrong. Which of the legions pictured is loyal and which is the traitor? It's repenting time.
To these guys, the Dark Angels are definitely loyalists, no questions asked.
Yeah,
I certainly wouldn't go making any jokes about that, unless you want to be repented very hard with this guy's cross.
Yeah, you might end up getting repented if you even question fucking Lionel Johnson.
Yes.
We already covered that guy. That guy is a monster. He to prove his worth, he went up against all of these Space Marine generals. He took off all of his armor and fought them while they had their full power armor and weapons, and he was completely naked, and he still dominated them. Like, goddamn, that is one of the biggest flexes in anime.
Their Deathwing Terminators issued forth from their fortress monastery that's named after Dwayne Johnson, and are truly some of the most elite forces in the entire Imperium. About the only way to stop the Dark Angels' assault is just to quietly mention that you saw some guy in black power armor mouthing off about heretical secrets over in the next system, and they seem to pack up and leave really quite quickly.
Yeah.
The Blood Angels are the angry red ones.
No, not the Blood Angels. No, what they did to my boy. What did they do to my boy?
Who give
Sanguinius, you were such a goat.
Corner run for his money.
Xenophobia. Silence, Xeno-heretic.
For the most part, they are fairly friendly, blood-mad space vampires, though.
Very friendly, blood-mad space vampires.
They do quite enjoy heroically sacrificing themselves in the pursuit of great deeds. The thing that you want to watch out for, though, is if they suddenly start calling you Horus. It means that their mental health might be fraying a bit, and you should...
Yeah, because they're, so the thing that happened when it came to these guys is Sanguinius, this guy, the leader of their Primarch, actually died to the hands of Horus when Horus rebelled against the Imperium. So they went crazy, and they became the Blood Angels, purely fighting to kill Horus shit. So whenever they see someone they don't like and they go a little mad, they start calling people Horus and go into frenzies killing people.
Should probably get out of there pronto. They really can get very angry indeed over the death of their fallen Primarch, who sadly fell victim to the random number generator.
Oh! Wait, what? How the fight went? I will defeat Horus. He only rolled ones and then he dies. No! No! What do you mean you lost to the random number generator? It wasn't D&D.
It's an element of 40k. A lot of the Blood Angels are still coming to terms with the fact that it's a dice game. Sometimes you can get unlucky. Finally, for the main big factions of Space Marines, we have the Space Wolves.
Viking furries in! Bro, there's literally something for everyone in this entire fucking universe. Like, that's what's so cool. There is badassery for anyone. Are you a Viking furry? Well, we got a home for you.
They started out as a mainly Nordic Viking faction, but over the years do seem to have acquired progressive layers of wolfiness. You can now field very themed units like a Wolf Lord with a Wolf Claw and Wolf Tail Talisman from the Wolfspear chapter riding a Thunder Wolf, leading a bunch of Fenrisian wolves, Wolfguard and Wolfen. It's a deeply thematic thing.
They're furries!
In general, they're a fairly sociable and friendly bunch. A chapter just...
Definitely a proportionate response. He used the warp to try and save mankind. No, no! Oh, no! Is this Magnus? Is this my goat? Oh, no.
Full of good boys. They're really quite popular, besides if you're the Dark Angels, who they like to have a punch-up with every single time they meet them. Or I guess the Grey Knights and the Inquisition, who they killed a bunch of that time. Or I
don't know. I didn't do the lore yet for the wolf guys.
I guess the Thousand Sons, who they turned up to in the Horus Heresy, burned down their home world.
Ah, that is Magnus! I was right! I was right! So Magnus tried to save everyone, but messed up. So then they wanted to massacre all of his people. And then he turned to the dark side of the Force.
And kind of forced them to join the Dark Gods. Other than that, though, they're really great guys.
Yeah.
They'll offer you a beer, even though that beer is probably fatal to most humans. Really, though, this guy's...
Yeah, easily Bao's favorite of the factions. Heh, I steal things. Fuck. What even is this meme?
The limit with the Space Marine chapters, there's all sorts of other ones out there. Plenty of ones in the canon, like these magpies who'll steal your shoes and relics. Or nice fan ones like these angry boys. They're funny because they do violence and use swear words.
I love that. I love violence and swear words. When someone else is the victim, obviously.
When we've got away...
We lost 2.6 million troops and 8,000 tanks. Victory! Oh, not the Imperial Guard! The poor Imperial Guard! See, the saddest part about the Imperial Guard is there are endless millions of troops in this fucking army of the Imperium of Man spanning over thousands of planets. And, like, they will send in an army of millions of people to die as a diversion before they just blow up the entire planet anyway. Like, it is so tragic.
Away from dealing with our millionth different flavour of Space Marines, though, there's plenty more in the Imperium. And who doesn't love the Imperial Guard? That nice brutal military organisation you could be conscripted to at a moment's notice, and then sent to become one of the numbers in a bayonet charge that's trying to assault a hive tyrant. Which
doesn't work. It doesn't work, no. Astral Miller, what? You're in the Guard, son. The M40 Imperial Laser Gun. They're equipped with fucking flashlights because it's cheaper than giving them actual useful weapons, since ultimately their job is just to be a diversion anyway. It's so sad.
Their troops are armed with the absolute finest.
It's like pure and utter utilitarianism. It's like just rush them with sheer and utter numbers. Nothing but numbers.
Gear that the Imperium can mass produce at a very cheap cost, such as the lasgun, which has even more hitting power than your standard flashlight. What's great about the Guard, though, is that they never say die. Should mass firepower fail them, they can always fall back on their trusty bayonets or shovels. They both work just fine against the power armor of a heretic Astarte.
Shit got real. Pull out a shovel. This is so sad.
Or at least so my infantryman's uplifting primer tells me. It's drummed in that every guardsman's duty is to defend the Imperium with the very last breath. They very much use a carrot and stick method for motivating their troops.
Bro! Let it be known that the planet broke before the Guard. The ones I shot for cowardice don't count. So there's this other thing that the commissars, like the generals of the Imperial Guard, their jobs aren't even to fight. They're just to shoot the people that are cowards. That is literally their entire job. So they'll rush in with the Imperial Guard. The Imperial Guard is fucking dying because they have flashlights and bayonets and shovels. And if any of them wants to turn around to run away, they get killed by the generals. This is the craziest fucking universe of all time. Oh my god. Those who run from the Guard are not part of the Guard. They are part of the casualty count. It's very effective. Well, yeah, because no one runs away because they know if they turn around, they die. So let it be known the planet broke before the Guard did. The super irony of this sentence is the fact that there was a full army of millions of the Imperial Guard on this planet. Like, it's a victory, guys. Yes, we lost the entire army, but ultimately it was a dub. We blew up the planet from orbit.
That nice man with the fancy hat at the back will chant some uplifting slogans, and when the going gets particularly tough, he might even decide to blam a few of you, and this does absolute wonders for keeping morale up. Perhaps the real strength of the Imperial Guard, though, comes from their...
Drive me closer. I want to hit them with my sword. This guy in a fucking multi-cannon. Dude's in a cannon of cannons. This thing has 3 cannon heads sticking out of it. Get me closer. I want to use my sword.
Armor and firepower. If the enemy's remaining standing, it's probably just because you haven't quite thrown enough men or material at it. Let's see how clever those fancy Eldar are feeling when the entire battlefield is turned into steel rain by a battery of 100 Earthshaker cannons.
Makes sense to me.
Still though, if the worst comes to the worst, you can always say,
he's not trapped on a planet of 10,000 heretics. They are trapped in a planet with him! Ah! Attributed to Sly Marmo. I am not cancelled by 1 million people on Twitter. I have annoyed 1 million people on Twitter.
Send in the ultimate weapon. You might be tough enough to survive a Shadow Sword's volcano cannon, but literally nothing survives Sly Marbo. Next, we have the tech support of the Imperium.
Hello, tech support. Try lighting some incense because the fucking tech priests believe that there's a machine god, and they're not completely wrong.
Of man, manning the forge worlds and repairing the vehicles on the battlefield. An art of fabrication that's lost to the vast majority of the galaxy at large.
Yeah, so these, the Adeptus Mechanicus fucking praying to the machines.
You both need the tools and expertise, but without the right incense or chanting hymns to the Omnissiah, then your forces aren't exactly going to get very far with their repairs.
Now, that's the best thing is, like, a scammer calls you. I actually did this. I got, like, a scam call asking me to help, hey, can you, give us control of your computer? You have a whole issue with your this and with your that. And I said to him, have you considered praying to the Omnissiah? He didn't respond.
Under a pleasant veneer of phony cog people.
Tell my wife I miss her. Holy shit, this man became a dick. Tell my wife I miss her. This man became a giant weaponized penis. He's got fucking balls and everything. Oh my lord.
People who like their toasters too much, the Admech are a little bit on the dark side. I think most people would take their chances in the Imperial Guard over joining the Skitarii, unless you're absolutely desperate to have your legs chopped off and then grafted onto a set of tracks.
Servitor tanks. Wait, so these are the people that committed crimes or whatever, so they get lobotomized, fucking implanted into tanks, and just machines of death with no more agency over their fucking body? Oh my, yeah, these are the good guys? I love this game. I love this world. I love this lore. Yeah, these are the good guys.
Track units. Still though, if you're lucky enough to be one of the tech priests, they can be good fun to command on the battlefield. Program your clockwork soldiers with a whole bunch of binary, and then set off to recover some STCs from humanity's distant past. Then we have the nuns with guns, the Adeptus are...
Keep calm and burn heretics. Let's go! Let's go, women! Woo!
Roritus. They're the defenders of the Imperial faith and enjoy burning mutants and heretics in the
Based. Woman moment. Am I right, guys?
Emperor's name. Interestingly, an all-female
in the name of the Empire!
Due to an ancient rule saying that the ecclesiarchy couldn't have any men under arms, but it didn't necessarily say anything about women. I guess that was probably written in the distant past before...
Wait, that's actually canon? The reason why you have the Sisters of War, the nuns with the guns, the fucking psychopath, heretic, burning, space witch, massacre women, is because it says in their religion of the ecclesiarchy, no man shall bear arms. So then they just fucking gave all the women firepower? The church pulled a sneaky? That is so sick. I didn't actually... See, we're learning canon stuff, not just memes, which, by the way, are the language of culture. I don't know if I've mentioned that earlier in the video.
Or the Imperium became the equal opportunities paradise that it is today. The sisters make writing a bit easier for Games Workshop, as they actually have their plot armor built into the fluff.
Let's go! Canon plot armor!
Anti-divine miracles from the Emperor's blessing that can just more or less happen as they like. So basically the few sisters that don't get immediately martyred to the Emperor's cause basically just can carry on living for quite a while. There's certainly nothing like getting to grips with Celestine on the board, finally managing to put down this little murderous angel, and then she stands back up ready to kill you all over again.
Wait, is this an actual quote from the ecclesiarchy? If you educate men without faith, you just make them clever devils. Holy shit.
I feel like
They summon churches onto the battlefield?
Games Workshop is maybe putting a bit of effort into giving the sisters a bit more prominence.
Yeah. Just give them my subscriber stats 97% male. Yeah, well, I think that's probably just Warhammer fans in general, to be honest.
Warhammer 40k does tend to be a little bit of a sausage fest with all these Space Marines running around. Perhaps almost as much of a skewed ratio as your standard wargaming event. They're plastic.
Damn! Just like the battlefield is 97% men in Warhammer, so is the fan base. Damn.
Model line has
been to church, I wish black and dog every time of my life.
Been really quite nice to see come out over the...
Honestly, I'm just curious now. What is the, my Warhammer videos? What's the ratio of female fans on my Warhammer videos? All right. So there's no way this has a fucking high female count. Ain't no way. Let's see. So right now I'm looking at the analytics of my 3-hour lore dive on the Emperor of Man. God, I am fucking floored right now. I am fucking in shock. 98.3% male. I have never seen a metric like that in my life. I am in shock right now. I am like actually in shock. 98% male? Brother, holy moly. For the Emperor? Yeah, I guess. Jesus fucking Christ, though. Well, calm your tits, I guess, if you have any. You probably don't if you're watching this video. Oh my god, that's crazy. See, my average male to female ratio is it's like 80-20, 85-15, but like 98-1?
The last few years, though, and anyone who desperately wanted to field a non-dam wing can certainly do so with these new Paragon suits. I don't really have anything clever to say about this one. It's just either a dog martyr or a doge martyr.
Makes sense.
I'm not really too sure.
Makes sense.
Then we've got Games Workshop's effort to cram in Titans into standard...
No way! Okay, so I heard a lot about these Titans. I was told so many times that I had to do research into the fucking... Just the Titan. Because it's like a machine, but it's a death god of a machine.
Scale 40k with the Imperial Knights. Certainly a bit of a power trip to field entire armies of big stompy robots. But they maybe do pose a bit of a rules challenge.
Oh, that's not a Titan?
For Games Workshop.
It's an Imperial Knight? What is it?
Making the game about something different other than just seeing whether or not you brought enough anti-tank weapons along. For those who thought...
No one expects the Imperial Inquisition! Bro, that does not get old. That's not a Titan, that's just a Knight? Yeah, alright.
Talked through all the Space Marines. Of course, we've got the Grey Knights as well. The elite demon...
Alright, Demon Hunters. Let's fucking go.
Busting wing of the Imperial Inquisition. Apparently not one of these has ever even fallen to chaos, which is kind of impressive given that every single one is a psyker. They must have demons asking them...
Everyone in chat saying, just a knight? Dude, you don't understand how awesome the Warhammer universe is. You literally don't understand. You can't even wrap your head around how awesome the Warhammer universe is.
If they want to cast off the shackles of the false emperor, literally all the time. They get access to a bunch of the nicest toys in the galaxy, with Stormbolters, Force weapons...
This is Dr. Disrespect's teammates when he comes back to streaming.
Support tactics being in large supply. And they also seem to have developed the cutest little Terminator entertainment system you ever saw.
Nice.
Hook a Grey Knight up to this and he'll be entertained all day, smashing those greater demons. While it's probably good for most of the galaxy that the Grey Knights...
It was so nice fighting alongside you guys. The demons are gone. Now what?
...exist and snuff out demon warp portals after they've emerged, you probably don't actually want to be fighting them alongside on the battlefield. On the one hand, if you lose to the tide of warp horrors, you probably get carried off and sacrificed to the Chaos Gods in all sorts of creative ways.
Yeah, it's a weird dichotomy. Like, if you have no Psyker powers, you will never beat a demon. If you have Psyker powers, you are attracting demons. Like, I'm telling you, whoever came up with this universe is the biggest fucking sadist, masochist combo of all time. Like, can you imagine making a world like that? If you have psychic powers, you might be able to fight off demons, but you are also summoning all the demons. It's like, dude!
But if the Grey Knights win, they do tend to get a bit genocide-y.
Yeah, whatever. Happens to the best of us, I guess.
If they think that your world's seen too much chaos, then they will generally take a very direct approach to exterminating that idea.
And that world, it's like, there's a lot of demons on this planet. We're just gonna kill the entire native population now?
I'm not entirely sure how they manage that when they often just show up with 50 or 100 brothers at most. It must take them a serious amount of time and effort if they do want to chop their way through a planet of billions of people.
And apparently they're very thorough.
With them...
I am a Space Marine, one of the finest servants of humanity. Lafts in gold.
Got the Adeptus Custodes.
Yo, the Custodes! These are the peak, tippy top of the fucking Space Marines. These are the guys guarding the Emperor.
The Emperor's own golden armoured guardians of Holy Terror itself. The Emperor created them out of his own gene seed to make all the Space Marines feel inferior to them.
It's just a flex. We don't actually need them. We just need them to remind you of your inferiority to your god. That's fucking awesome.
And they certainly hurt the feelings of quite a bunch of Primaris Marines recently when they executed them all for not following orders properly. All of these Imperial armies have plenty of support though, often
fighting chaos with chaos. Improve technology. Recruit the monkey!
Requisitioning them or leading them into battle.
Requisitioning them. Fucking taking creatures and genetically mutating them with biotechno shit to become lobotomized slaves for your army. Say it the way it is!
Are the Emperor's own Inquisition, ultimate authority over every force in the battlefield, can use the units and forces that they most want out of the entire galaxy. Though despite this, their retinues of choice often seem to be made up of monkeys from the planets of the apes, and some guy who they managed to force a demon into.
They'll like force demon into random people, lobotomize them, and just fucking drop them in battlefields. Like, these guys are crazy, these Inquisitors. Like, my favorite Inquisitor quote still has to be, "Innocence proves nothing." This is by far the hardest bar of all time. Innocence proves nothing? Holy shit.
Suppose you need some distractions to keep things interesting, when a lot of your problems can be solved by just declaring exterminatus, and making sure that no one survives.
Exterminatus means blow up the planet.
Loyalist or traitor. If they do need a precision tool, though, I guess they can always dispatch one of the Imperial assassins.
I'm not sure he gets it. Kill, 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 kill. Okay, so these assassins... Okay, I don't even know where to start. These assassins are people that are orphans, that are taken from their homes, that are tortured and given every amount of drugs possible to put them in a state of absolute and utter rage, lock them up in cryostasis so that you thaw them out to drop them into battlefields like living berserker bombs to fucking destroy everything around them, and eventually, when they're done, they just kill them because they really only have one mission.
The ultimate accurate sniper fire of the Vindicare, the hidden blade and the polymorphine camouflage of the Calidus, the witch-hunting psychic void that is the Collectus assassin, and then the Eversor assassin who
That's the Eversor assassin.
Hasn't really got the memo about what an assassin does.
Yeah, no, they just drop him in like, he's like a bomb. Like, they have these creatures enraged, fucking juiced up with every drug in the world, and just frozen, so that they can just drop them onto different battlefields if they just want to clear everything.
And just runs in Leroy Jenkins style, and just kills literally everyone. Hopefully their target gets included with that if they're lucky. Besides the Imperium, we have all the...
That's how they assassinate people. It's like, all right, so we want to kill one person in this crowd, so we're just going to kill everyone in the crowd. Chaos Space Marines. Enemies! We need enemies! Abandon the Emperor! We have spikes! Oh, true.
Second Thought factions, the ones that Games Workshop remembers exists every so often, just to make sure that your Primaris intercessors do have some fun-looking targets. If you abandon the brutal regime of the Imperium, you can always seek reference with the Dark Gods. You will have to get busy on your welding skills, though, as they don't accept you without a lengthy period of welding spikes to your power armor.
That's true, they all have spikes on their power armor. True, true. Edging, I'm telling you, it's edging. Look at it, look at his power armor, okay? Look at the fucking spikes everywhere. He has spikes with skulls and of different species on the spikes on his back. Why the fuck does he need to carry around skulls of different species on his spikes? Because it's awesome and edgy and cool as shit.
I guess if you sit around in the Eye of Terror long enough, though, maybe the Chaos Warping things will do it for you. After that, though, you can set off on Black Crusade, burn and pillage some Loyalist worlds in the name of...
The heresy train has no brakes! It's just spiky and shit.
Of Khorne or Tzeentch, or perhaps just a bit...
Based, Tzeentch, based, Tzeentch.
Being generally annoyed...
Tzeentch is the goat, we love that man.
...at the Imperium, and the persistence with sitting around worshipping a corpse when there's much more fun and interesting gods out there.
True.
Fortunately, there's a great leader...
13th times the charge, Abaddon. Incompetence wears Terminator armor. Wait, this is Horus's second in command? Is that this guy? Bruh.
To lead your Chaos forces to victory, Abaddon the Despoiler. His 13 Black Crusades certainly make a nice intimidating number, though I think Games Workshop did eventually realise that he's not actually looking very threatening if they've beaten him back 12 times already.
Bro, he lost 13 wars in a row. 13th time's the charm! Hell yeah.
Ready? And finally did allow him to blow up Cadia a bit.
And then he blows up Cadia. No, Cadia!
So I suppose he did get the last laugh in the end.
I guess.
Presumably once they do manage to take down the Emperor and the Imperium.
The pinnacle of human evolution. Damn you, Tzeentch. This fucking guy, bro. Look what they do to these people. Oh my god.
They're going to be ushering in a new age of paradise.
Nice.
I mean, just look at these guys.
They're happy.
Wouldn't you be annoyed if you were...
They are so happy.
Being held back from this sort of pinnacle of the next level of human adaptation.
Yeah, come on, guys. We are so close to reaching that stage of evolution. And people on Twitter keep holding us back. By breeding.
And evolution. The trick is to please the Chaos Gods, but only a little bit. You don't want them giving you too many mutations, otherwise you get a bit spawny. In-game, Games Workshop do like to give the...
Bow down before the power of Better Rules support. This is a fair fight, right?
Heretics some rule support. The usual pattern of Chaos Space Marine codexes is that it comes out, and then the Loyalists get a nice new book a few months later that'll make all the Chaos rules look like a joke.
God damn, dude, because the Loyalists are the fan favorite. They get all the buffs.
Worry, I'm sure this new book with the 2 wounds, though, will be completely different. I'm sure it'll compete just fine with the next Loyalist book that's rumoured to be out later in the year. Like the Loyalists, they get all...
Chaos vanilla flavor? Khorne cares not from whence the blood flows. Bro, I love the Chaos Gods so much. They're so cool. Such interesting entities, each one of them.
Sorts of fun flavours of Chaos Marines. The generic vanilla flavour of Black Legion, perhaps the Ultramarines of the Chaos. At least they're a little bit more friendly and practical than some of the other legions, not just randomly warbanding all over the place. And this one is looking pretty awesome, as he decides whether or not to add the Space Marine's head to his skull collection.
That's so fucking hilarious. He's holding a skull and he's like, should I put it on one of the spikes on my back or not? I don't know. It's like, it's not a PSA 10 skull that I just ripped out of my enemy's face. So like, I don't know if I want to keep this one or like keep spike room for other skulls. Like, I don't know.
We've then got the angry World Eaters. Khorne cares not from where the blood flows.
Yes, sir. Blood for the Blood God, baby. Blood for the Blood God, skulls for the Skull Throne.
Which is kind of a good thing at the moment, given the current state of the Chaos Space Marine rules. We've got the Iron Warriors, who often...
Fortify, siege, fortify, siege, fortify, siege, fortify. Bro, the ultimate army. It's the ultimate back and forth. We are the ultimate siege masters. We are the ultimate fortification havers. And then they just stay locked in eternal conflict.
Get into clever battles of wits against the Imperial Fists. At least they can always fall back on mentioning the Iron Cage if they do want to win that argument, though. There's the Word Bearers, the guys who thought that heresy might be a great idea.
A moment of your time to talk about our saviors, the Dark Gods! Like the fucking preachers everywhere. The Wall versus the Cannon.
Idea in the first place.
Can't outstall the Wall, baby.
Basically the Jehovah's Witnesses of 40k.
Oh shit.
Except if you want to welcome their gods into your heart, it's usually in the form of demon possession.
Makes sense to me.
They originally went down that whole thing though.
Praise the God Emperor! That was our idea.
After they were told that they weren't allowed to worship the Emperor as a god.
Yo, I love that so much. Like the idea that the God Emperor of mankind becomes the Emperor and he says, I have one rule. Do not worship me as a god. Everyone proceeds to worship him as a god.
It's kind of funny how that wound up working out after 10,000 years or so.
Yeah.
Then there's these guys.
I am Alfarius! Me too! Shh, be quiet. I'm trying to remember which side I'm on. I love the Alfarius Omegon rules. Twins that everyone says, I am Alfarius. And that is a lie. That's also one of the coldest quotes.
No one's quite too sure what the Alpha Legion are up to.
Yeah, because sometimes, because officially they fell to chaos. Maybe they didn't fall to chaos. No one fucking knows what these guys are doing.
Are they?
I am Alfarius! That was a lie.
Infiltrating chaos for the loyalists. Maybe they just...
Right, they're ultimate infiltrators and shit. So technically they are on the side of the Chaos Legions right now. But for all you know, maybe they're good guys sneaking into the bad guys. No one knows. I am Alfarius and this is a lie.
Don't really have any idea what they're doing, but they just quite enjoy fomenting rebellions. And they can all claim to be Alfarius as soon as you kill one of them. The Emperor's children are...
Every time you kill one, I was Alfarius all along! Seeking perfection, also illicit substances. Yes. Nothing like perfection and meth.
Basically there to show up the Emperor's bad parenting skills. When the time came to choose Chaos Gods, they chose to get into bed with Slaanesh, speaking figuratively, or so I understand. And now they pursue the very slightly conflicting...
Boo! Figurative sex! Boo!
...goals of martial perfection, and also snorting as many fun substances as he possibly can. If you need a Space Marine Legion to throw a good party, they're probably the best choice, and they even do so on the battlefield with their sonic weapons.
That's some Fulgrim shit. Join Khorne, win battles. Join Slaanesh for endless pleasure. Join Siege for magic and secrets. Join Nurgle, will make you really sick. Bro, you want to see me join Nurgle? I'll show you exactly how to join Nurgle. Alright, I have a speedrun strat, how to join Nurgle with Nuxanor right now. Okay, so all you really need to do is you search Asmongold on YouTube. Alright. I just joined Nurgle, ladies and gentlemen. For all eyes to see, I have just joined. It's over. It's Jover. Nah, sorry. My heart's still with Siege. I can't do it. My heart's still with Siege. I can't betray my heart.
Then got the Death Guard, the Legion of Mortarion, who perhaps drew the short straw where it came.
Bro, I will show you the speedrun on how to subscribe to Tzeentch now. For those of you that are unaware, I will actually instead give you the Tzeentch, how to subscribe to Tzeentch. Okay, so this is how you subscribe to Tzeentch. You simply need to do this. And subscribe to his Clips channel instead. Praise Tzeentch, the foreseer of all, the tentacle guy, or something. Yes, I am now a follower of Tzeentch.
To getting Chaos Gods, rather than getting unlimited military might.
Asmongold's main channel is Nurgle, and the Clips channel is just Tzeentch. It just works too well.
Endless pleasure, magic and secrets, they get Nurgle, so their main thing is having space aids and also decomposing slowly. I guess as a bonus they are somewhat hard to kill though, maybe as a bit of an upside for being somewhat dead already. They've maybe
Listen! Papa Nurgle loves us all. And they shall feel no soap when you Google your symptoms and it turns out you've been dead for a millennia. Oh my god, dude! Every time you Google your symptoms, it's like, we think you have cancer.
Had a bit of a heyday through these pandemic times, perhaps slightly ironic that they had a quite strong codex come out, while a lot of us were in lockdown and unable to play games due to Nurgle's influence.
That is very ironic.
I guess that's...
Wait, so he got a buff during COVID? That's hilarious.
Another bonus, you can also turn up to tournaments and things without having showered and just claim that you're playing fluffy.
Let's go! You see, you don't shower because you're disgusting. I don't shower because it's a cosplay. We are not the same.
The Thousand Suns...
It's just Boogie looking up his medical conditions. Ah, shit. Did nothing wrong? Question mark? Yeah, I think they did nothing wrong. I am fully on board with the Thousand Suns. They are my favorite Space Marine Legion. So I think that my top three are probably the Salamanders, Alfarius, and these guys. I think these guys are my favorite. I think the Thousand Suns are my favorite Space Marine Legion.
The Sorceress Legion of Tzeentch. Their sorcerers really are avid readers, but the Harlequins unfortunately still won't give them their library pass.
Nope! I love the Harlequins too. They're not Space Marines, so they don't count.
Some say that Magnus should have been a bit more careful when sending psychic messages, not to disrupt the Emperor's webway game.
Yeah, and some people said that Griffith should have been a bit more careful when he sacrificed his entire friends and family to gods to attain power. But ultimately, it was pretty cool.
Of course, it was a totally proportionate response to send the Space Wolves to tear them all down.
It's like, bro, you sent mail, but didn't put the correct postage. We will massacre your family now. Thousand Suns the casualty removal tool. It's a waste. It's a fucking dustpan. Oh, man.
Tzeentch does like to keep change coming, and he did seem to get a bit too infatuated with the standard Marines of the Thousand Suns, giving them all sorts of fun tentacles and mutations.
Let's go! We love tentacles in this house. Tentacle gang! Drop a comment. Tentacle gang if you're a real one.
Fortunately, a bloke called Araman managed to fix that, turning them all into armor stands full of dust. It does seem to make their Marines follow orders even better than normal, nice. But conversation appears to have suffered amongst the ranks. Finally, for the main legions, we come to...
Brother, do these wings look terrifying enough? They're fucking coming out of his head. He looks like such a goober. Oh my god, dude. Brother, do these wings look terrifying? Yeah,
the Night Lords, brutal terror troops striking from the shadows, who unfortunately have the lore that makes them really good at scaring people, basically translating to them never really being very good in game.
Their lore is being scary and they just look like fucking goobers.
To Games Workshop never really making leadership.
This design's pretty fucking awesome though, I'm not gonna lie.
Meaningful in virtually any edition of 40k. Much like the Space Marine Reavers, I do wonder whether dressing up in spooky armour is really all that more scary than just getting killed randomly by a Khorne Berserker. Both of those things do seem like pretty reasonable things to be scared of and retreating from.
Yeah.
I guess Halloween-themed armour must add something though, otherwise they probably wouldn't do it. Of course, after the Chaos Marines, we get into all the warp entities that they actually serve.
Alright, so we're done with Marines. Alright, we did all the regular Marines, we did all the Chaos Marines. It is time, baby, for the actual agents of chaos, like the demons and shit.
Demons feast off the emotions of the mortals, all our negativity made manifest into demonic horrors that might...
I can't even imagine how many demonic horrors are directly related to me. I feel like Twitter is this close to birthing Slaanesh in our canon.
Just come bursting out of your head.
Like every time you see someone get fucking cancelled on Twitter and you just look at the replies and the replies are all like OnlyFans bots putting their asshole in the fucking replies to get children to click on their links. It's like you just sit there and you're like, we are this close to Slaanesh, baby.
Head at a moment's notice. Who knows, maybe your thoughts and feelings could be generating a nice nurgling or a bloodletter right now. Within the Chaos Pantheon, we have
List of the Khornate Massacres. From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. This list is incomplete. You can help by expanding it. You can help by expanding it. Oh my god. Because anyone can be part of Khorne's armies as long as you also commit a massacre. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure that is the actual Wikipedia, by the way, right? I feel like that's not just a meme. Like, I think that's on the Wikipedia. The Khornate Massacres. But the meme is good. The meme is good. I love that. Fuck, dude, this is such a crazy line. You can help by expanding it.
Khorne. He's a simple and very angry soul who enjoys rage, murder, blood, and killing. Kind of interesting, though, that in the eternal game between all the demon gods, despite being the literal god of war, he never seems to get the upper hand over the others. Then we have Nurgle, god of death, pestilence, and disease. He's a bit more friendly and very happy to share all these blights with everyone around. He's endlessly brewing up new plagues to make your body go rotten in various different ways. The forces of Nurgle are led into battle by great unclean ones. Also a subtype of Warhammer hobbyist who you might...
I fucking love this. Did you remember to wash your hands? It's so ironic because the Nurglites do not wash their hands. I don't even want to believe this. There is no way they shower. There is no way. No way. Impossible. Showering is for rubes and people that aren't dying alone. Imagine having someone carry you out in real life, am I right?
Might sometimes bump into in the sweaty halls of gaming conventions.
True. I love the Nurgle memes too, just simply because, like, I can't stop seeing, like, the Asmongold room with the fucking dead rats and blood on his walls. Like, every single time. It's like every time you join a Discord server and you have all the fucking gooners in the server just fucking posting shit. It's like, holy shit, did I just walk into Nurgle land? When you party so hard, you unleash a chaos god, Slaanesh, because sometimes normal perversions just aren't enough. It's like they also have foot fetishes.
Then we have Slaanesh, god of excess, perversion, and all manner of kinky things, unwittingly unleashed by the Eldar, not knowing that there was such a thing as partying just a bit too hard.
Yeah.
Finally, we have Tzeentch,
the goat, the base. Let's make a few changes around here. Bro, freaking Tzeentch is so sick. God, I love this man.
Changer of ways and love.
I'd let Tzeentch inside me. I'd let him penetrate me. Like my mind, is what I said and mean. I'd let him in my mind. My mind is what I'm saying. I would. I absolutely would. No doubt.
Lover of magic.
You know? I'd rub one out to Tzeentch. I'd rub one out to Tzeentch. Like, if I could just rub like a lamp, like a genie's lamp, and he would come out, I would do it, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about Tzeentch specifically. Like, if I had a genie's lamp, and if you could just rub it, and Tzeentch comes out, I would rub one out to Tzeentch. Is what I'm saying. Anyway.
Magic, scheming, and money-tentacled monsters.
Yeah, scheming and tentacles. Does it get any better than that?
Whether you win or lose with legions of Tzeentch, you can always claim
clips for the clip gods! Cancellations for the Twitter throne!
That it was all according to plan. And they do have the nice benefit that if you've got any spare parts left over after making your models, you can just glue them all together, and you'll make something that's very credibly lore accurate to what Tzeentch
I guess so. Fuck. He's just a miasma of fucking monstrosities and war crimes.
Actually build. Yeah. Finally, for the realm of chaos, we get the Chaos Knights.
Soon to have more than just one model. Damn, that's exciting.
Much like the Chaos Marines, when they leave the Imperium, they're allowed to get in touch with their edgy side. Not only do they get the armor spikes for the Chaos Marines.
Yeah, armor spikes! That's how you know they're edgy.
But this guy's also managed to find some nice evil birds, and he's managed to convince them to sit all over his carapace for a bit.
Wait, dude. You're not a Chaos Knight if you don't have random birds of prey sitting on your fucking back.
Currently, Chaos Knights are a bit of an afterthought of a faction, but at least after their next
release... I didn't even know they were a whole faction. That's crazy.
They'll have more than one model dedicated to them in their own faction, nice. And not just have to loot the Imperial ones. Moving over to Xenos.
Tau! Cringe! Wait, no, these aren't the Tau. These are the Eldar. Eldar based! I like the Eldar.
And we're starting to get to the armies that burn up really nicely if you hit them with a big gout of Promethium.
I love how you rate the different races of how easy they are to exterminate.
The Eldar are the haughty and very superior space elves of 40k.
I like the Eldar, they're really cool.
With hyper-specialised aspect warriors and farseers that can predict the future. Though despite having very limited resources and having to pick and choose their battles, they still seem to come off second best in an awful lot of confrontations. In general, the superior technology and devious gameplay of the Eldar often means that their opponents are going to be fighting on the back foot. In 9th edition, up to their codex release,
super fun interactive game incoming. Just the fuck spamming this shit. Dude, I love it so much. I love how you can make fun of this so much because the way the game plays, like on a tabletop, is obviously super influenced by the lore. Again, I'm not a tabletop player. I'm just the lore dive idiot, okay? I am a lore dive gooner, okay? Not a gamer. Gamer spelt, but with 2 O's and an N, is what I'm trying to say. That came out weird. But the point is, I love the meme of super fun interactive game incoming, and you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And then they just fucking flip over 5 continuous trap cards, you know?
Haven't been all that strong, but virtually for the vast majority of 40k's history, they've usually been one of the best factions in the game. I'm sure there aren't too many fond memories of 7th edition Wraith Knights, or 8th edition Inari or Flyer Wings, often obliterating the enemy's army with very little chance for them to strike back meaning.
That just sounds like good tactics to me. The goal is victory! The goal is victory no matter how many times I have to flip over magic cylinder, god damn it. I don't care about fun, interactive gameplay. I care about where the skulls fall, is what I'm trying to say.
Thankfully, to keep their souls safe from Slaanesh, the clever Eldar invented a cloud computing service for dead relatives called the Infinity Circuit, and they can animate wraith constructs with their ancestors if they need to fight for the craft world in times of duress. This one was particularly handy for the Eldar of Ayandin, a lot of whom became snacks for the Tyranids of High Fleet Kraken. Hopefully Spirit Stones still work equally well after you've had to fish them out of a ravener's stomach.
God, dude, he's talking with so much more animosity towards the Xenos than he did about the humans. It's hilarious. I love it so much. God.
Handy for the Eldar of Ayandin, a lot of whom became snacks for the Tyranids of High Fleet Kraken. Hopefully Spirit Stones still work equally well after you've had to fish them out of a ravener's stomach.
Bro, it's every single time. He's insulting these guys. I mean, honestly based, because they're heretics and they need to be flamered ASAP. But like, god damn. God damn. Damn.
For a dying race that really should...
They are Xenos scum, so it's pretty based. Yeah, right. Join the Inari. What could go wrong?
Be treating its warriors' lives with the utmost importance.
Okay.
The Eldar do seem to have a bit of a self-sacrifice streak going on.
God.
They frequently immolate one of their very best warriors to awaken the avatar of Cain. And their latest great idea is the Inari, basically being able to vanquish Slaanesh when every Eldar dies, which I guess is a very noble cause, but it would mean that there wouldn't be all that many Eldar left to enjoy their new galaxy.
Wait, hold on. You're kidding me. So, Timmy, did you enjoy your birthday party? All right, these are the Harlequins. Wait. So the Inari game plan, let me get this straight. Hold on. The Inari game plan is, well, if we just kill all the Eldar, we'll also kill Slaanesh. So that future Eldar could have a wonderful time. But there won't be any Eldar because you get to kill all the Eldar, kill Slaanesh. Seems like a flaw in the logic here. This is some fucking light Yagami shit. What? Oh, God. I love the Harlequins. These guys are awesome.
Often fighting alongside the Craft Welders are the Harlequins or Clown Eldar. The regular Eldar do quite like humiliating all the other races' armies, but these guys take it to the next level. Nothing says that you're being outclassed quite so much than when your entire army is devastated by a bunch of circus performers doing acrobatics.
It's just to troll them? They're trolls. Why do they wear clown shit? Oh, because it's really awkward when you get your whole platoon killed by clown shit. It's just based.
And when your entire army is devastated by a bunch of circus performers doing acrobatics.
It's like, what would you rather be killed by? An epic gigatank chainsword piece of shit son of a goddamn destruction unit? Some crazy overpowered spiked up 2,000-pound power armor shit? Or some goofy guy in clown makeup? What feels worse? Current Harlequin units, 8. Current win percentage, 70%.
Recording this, Harlequins are perhaps one of the best examples of Games Workshop's current approach to game balance, in that if the last couple of codexes aren't by far the strongest in the game, then something has gone horribly wrong.
That's power creep, ladies and gentlemen. Power creep in a nutshell. Every single time, every game, power creep will always be there for you. Which is why Yu-Gi-Oh! Games right now last 2 turns. Originally they lasted 20. Now they last 2 turns. Power creep. It's a different game.
Currently, a codex of just 8 units is somehow managing to sit at a win rate of around 70% at big...
That's fucking crazy. That is absolutely insane. That's like tier 0 format.
Big tournaments, but I'm sure that Games Workshop will jump on rebalancing them right away, just as soon as all of the biggest spending meta chasers have all bought themselves 9 Void Weavers.
That's the plan. Everyone needs to buy everything. It's like every single game goes through that up and down. That's why it's so hard for me to play different games that have updating metas. Like, for me, let's say Yu-Gi-Oh, okay? If you want the best Yu-Gi-Oh deck, you'll need to pay $200, $300 for the cards in the best deck. That deck will be obsolete in 3 months. In 3 months, the best cards in that deck will be banned, the engine will no longer be overpowered, and there will be an entire new fucking deck on the market that you need to play if you want to win. And you need to drop another $300 for that one. And that's every 2-3 months this happens. Like, you will just get completely outpaced and outclassed.
Then, though, we have the Drukhari.
Let the flaying commence! Oh, God. No, not these guys! Not these guys! These are the Dark Eldar.
Quite possibly the very, very last people who you want to get dragged away screaming by in 40k.
Nope. They flay you, they torture you. They torture you and... They torture you so much you want death, and they only kill you once your mind goes blank and you no longer even want death anymore because your mind just doesn't work. That's when they kill you. Ain't right, bro. Ain't right.
These BDSM murder space elves think that causing pain is a worthy goal in and of itself.
I mean, that's how they worship Tzeentch, right? I mean, their whole gimmick is Tzeentch is this goddess of excess. And the Eldar summoned Tzeentch, and Tzeentch ended up, not Tzeentch, Slaanesh, sorry. And Slaanesh ended up killing out a lot of the Eldar, right? So in order for these guys to not get killed out by Slaanesh, they need to be even more perverted, and even more excessive, and even more extreme in their war crimes and bullshit than Slaanesh herself. So they are ultimate and pure debauchery incarnate in order to appease Slaanesh so that she doesn't kill them. That is a lore reason to make the biggest assholes in fiction.
And what really is the point in war at all, unless you're venturing forward to taste the delicious agonies and get yourself a nice fresh supply of unwilling volunteers for the gladiatorial arenas and flesh crafters.
Unwilling volunteers! And we're not talking about, you know, Chinese labor warehouses. No.
Perhaps one of the more fun stories in
Cultural exchange is going well, I see. Ah, yes.
Dark Eldar lore was when the Tau first encountered the homunculus covens, decided to briefly ally with them and send across a nice cultural exchange.
The Tau allied with the Dark Eldar at one point? Well, they're cooked.
Exchange program, only to find out that the next wave of allied flesh engines all seem to have a very weird blue-grey tint to their skin, and maybe these creepy necromancers are better left to themselves.
Yeah.
Leaving space elves behind, we now come on to the Zerg. I mean the aliens from Alien.
I canned food. I love canned food! The Tyranids! Canned food! Space Marines are canned food! These guys are definitely the biggest threat in Warhammer 40k. I love that there's this existential threat like them that just exists in the background that I feel like if Warhammer ever does get an ending, which it won't. I don't think Warhammer will ever end. There will always be another war and another faction, more fucking bullshit. I think that if it can have an ending, it will end with the Emperor allying with the Chaos Gods. And Chaos and humanity work together to face the Tyranids. I feel like that's the only way that the story could actually end. Because these guys are such an insane threat, it's terrifying. Let us devour the very gods together!
The Tyranids, they're basically the hungry hippos of 40k.
To put it lightly, okay? They are the most terrifying species in fiction. In fiction!
Who don't really see the other factions so much as enemies, but more as an all-you-can-eat buffet. Unlike more galactically trivial...
Remember how we talked about how overpowered all of them are? Well, they are a buffet to the Tyranids. And the idea that the Tyranids come from another galaxy, like an entire other galaxy, and the Tyranids that are fucking monstrous creatures that are annihilating the humans. Guys, that was just a scouting fleet. Okay? You know nothing of the Tyranids. Tyranids, we're gonna need better bug spray. High fleet behemoth, choose through plot armor. Bro, the amount of plot armor that the Space Marines have to only completely get annihilated by Swarm Lord Tyranids is terrifying. They eat plot armor!
Civilizations like the Tau, the Tyranids really pose an existential threat to Warhammer 40k. And as we don't know how many are out there, there's every chance that the ultimate fate of the galaxy is just to get carried away in this little swarm of space locusts.
Yeah, I mean, I love, you know how I said that at some point, you never know, maybe the Emperor and the fucking Chaos Gods will have to team up against these guys? You know, it'd be a really dark ending to a really dark fucking timeline and dark lore story. You want to know a grim, dark ending? The Emperor allies up with the Chaos Gods, and everyone is on the same side to face the Tyranids, and then the Tyranids just win. They just devour them all anyway. And they just become a hive mind that just okay, they take over the galaxy. Everyone's an ally. They just take everyone over anyway. Yeah, that would be pretty fucked up.
Tyranids really seem to be no joke when they're encounters, devouring most of Iyanden, reducing the defenders of Baal to nothing, and needing the Blood Angels to depend on a Khorne Bloodthirster to help them out, and perhaps most impressively of all, chewing through the plot armour of really quite a lot of Ultramarines, leaving their first company wiped out to a man.
That's
Despite
crazy.
endlessly adapting in the lore though, Games Workshop's own hive
Any decade now will adapt away the mold lines.
mind doesn't seem to have dreamed up any new models for them in really quite a long time. If you're thinking of picking up that new Tyranid Combat Patrol with all the gaunts in it, I hope you like scraping down mold lines.
Yeah.
To help prepare the populations of more
Nexus, before the Uprising, all like, this is big brain time. Yeah.
defended worlds for their inevitable
They just end worlds. These guys are scary. Holy crap.
mass consumption. The Tyranids often employ gene-stealer cults, insidious uprisings that wend their way through Imperial society. Their membership is only open to any...
I said that this won't end. That's how I prefaced. I know there won't be an ending. I said if there would be an ending, not that there will be, but I could see it going in one of these ways. This story will never end. The lore will never end. It's an endless war that will never, ever, ever, ever end in any way. Never. That's the fucking business.
Anyone who has a really wide forehead. Their message really is quite convincing though.
This will totally work out well for us, guys. A couple of random dudes with flashlights against fucking Lovecraftian horror.
After all, the usual thing that gets people to worship a god emperor is how many arms they have, so I guess that's a bit of an easy win there. I do feel that Genestealer Cult maybe have a slight narrative problem going on though. Basically, if they ever get too successful, they will generally draw the Tyranids to their planet, which doesn't tend to work out too well for your average run-of-the-mill wide forehead cultist.
Yeah, the obvious issue when it comes with the Tyranids is they seem way too strong, and I don't see any way of undercutting their power anytime soon.
So I guess if you do collect a Genestealer Cult army, if they've not yet been assimilated, I can only assume that they're currently a bunch of failures. One of the funniest things about Genestealers is...
Damn you, cursed meme stealer! Pointing at him. Damn you, cursed meme stealer. Damn you, cursed... No.
Oh no.
Alright, I see it. Very meta, very cute, very meta.
Never mind, he's run off with it. In any case, moving on, we have...
Orcs! Orcs! Praise Gork and Mork! The glorious gods of the orcs! Now these guys are the goats. These guys are awesome. We need to do a full-ass lore dive purely on orc lore. The orcs are awesome. They are the light in the darkness that is 40k.
The orcs, who basically as an army in 40k are kind of one big green meme already. Fungoid death machines who fight for the sheer fun of it and don't take themselves so seriously.
I love how they play like lotto machines, right? Like normally you need to roll the dice, like let's say if you roll a 1 through 4, you hit, okay? The orcs are like, if you roll a 1, you hit, and you also fucking destroy whatever the fuck you hit. Like, these guys are monsters. I love it so much. I'm a tank. Dude, they are so cool.
As you fancy Primaris Space Marines, must be kind of annoying if...
I defend the Imperium with honor and wrath. Shoot, I'll go, ducka. I love the orcs.
You're an arcane super soldier in battle for millennia, then you manage to get blown up by a rocket of an enthusiastic orc who...
It just happens. It doesn't matter. These are orcs. Look up orcs, I'm a tank. What? What does that mean? Orcs, I'm a tank. I don't know what the hell that means. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. There's a lot of memes. There's a lot of orc memes, bro. A lot of orc memes.
Actually can't hit a barn door. It's only really along for the banter anyway. One of the best things about orcs is that a lot of
It's actually hilarious. Look it up. It's a YouTube poop. All right, dude. I'm trying. I looked up, what is it, this?
A bunch of Imperial guardsmen, right? They're defending a spot. And the orcs just keep on coming. They just keep on coming. They don't stop. And eventually the guardsmen run out of ammunition with their las guns. And then the company commander has an idea.
Oh.
He points his las gun at an enemy and he goes, bang! and then an orc falls over dead.
I love the orcs! I love the orcs. I love the orcs. Because the thing is, anything that the orcs believe becomes reality. That is their magic. So when they believe they're strong, they get stronger. When they believe they're fast, they get faster. They think that anything red moves faster than things that are any other color. So they'll paint their cars red and their cars will move faster. So if you just say bang and they think they get shot, they will die.
We look at him and they're like, and then all the orcs just start falling over them
because they believe they've still got ammo, I assume. until
awesome. A group of 6 orcs run over the hill and they just won't fall over from all the banging. And then they hear chanting in the distance. And then as they get closer, they hear, I'm a tank, I'm a tank, I'm a tank, I'm a tank.
That's fucking awesome. I love them.
Tank, I'm a tank.
No fucking way.
I think it's bullshit, but I love the story.
Wait, that's canon? Wait, is that actually canon?
It's a great story.
No, that has to be real because that's fucking great.
That's actually canon. Oh my god. That is such a sick story. Orc logic. The story is canon because you believe it's canon? Sure, I believe it. Oh my god. I love the orcs. I believe.
Their technology only really functions because they believe it does. Captured shooters are often found out to be non-functional, yet give them to an orc and they still manage to make a loud sound and produce a chunk of lead. Painting your vehicles red does indeed make them go slightly faster, and blue paint does seem to make your vehicles suspiciously lucky. They are like...
Right, because blue is lucky. And purple is stealth, because have you ever seen a purple orc?
...to be the last ones left in the fight. Some say that the Emperor himself is only as strong as he is because the orcs believe that he's dead hard.
That's awesome. Holy shit. Dude, the orcs are like the source of power. Bro, the orcs placebo effect is so sick. This is like, what if placebo was a power system? And they just make the orcs.
It's great through and through, though. If you visit the orc painboy doctors, they'll replace your limbs with other ones they've borrowed from other orcs. Their looters will steal everything that isn't nailed down, assemble them into big guns, and then blow you to bits with them.
Nice.
And Gretchen are there to make brutal oppression funny. Nice. Because perhaps you don't have to feel too sorry for the goblin men if they're sent to clear minefields or get used as human shields.
Oh my god. Hey, can you clear that minefield? But I don't have any technology. You know what I meant.
If you like manga and Japanimation, then maybe Tau, the Xenos species.
Boo! Boo! Cringe Tau. Get out of here.
For you, zooming around in battle.
There's only Necrons left after this, right?
Suits, obliterating enemies with plasma fire, and a curious greater good cast system that still seems to just add up to basically doing what those slightly spooky ethereal guys say. Tau always seemed to have had a bit.
No, you can't shoot through our armor, and your technology does not fit in the wider setting. Haha, railgun, go pew pew. Right? They're the guys with the crazy big guns, right? They're just the gun guys. Close combat, they all get cooked, but they just have big guns.
To backlash since they came out in 40k. They did seem to be one of the only races that made technological innovations, but I guess that's less of a thing now the Primaris all came out. Currently, Tau players are in quite a good position to sit there with their railguns and drink the tears as you one-shot demon abominations from the safety of the other side of the battlefield.
That's messed up, bro! Don't give them long-range shit like that. Oh man.
In-game, they do seem to be having quite a good time right now. Tau are well known for not being able...
When you know you've messed up big.
...able to fight in melee as well.
Oh my god, dude, look at this. This Tau guy with the freaking gun, this little dude is towered over by a space marine.
Well, something that must confuse them as being a surprisingly necessary skill in the distant future of warfare. Usually they might try and get some crude in the way of that sort of...
Right, you'd think that 40,000 years in the future, battles would be long range. And then the fucking chainswords come out of their sheaths.
...thing normally, but it must be a bit disconcerting knowing that you've skipped arm day when the massive guy in power armor and the big knife grabs your pulse carbine. Currently Tau are one of the other armies that gains work...
Those walls won't save you.
...souped up into the stratosphere. What could possibly go wrong with giving it one faction enormous firepower, and also enormous firepower that doesn't need line of sight? Hopefully.
You see, this is exactly what I'm saying, right? They have enormous firepower that doesn't even need line of sight to fucking nuke you from across the battlefield. Okay? But they're not even overpowered because everything is overpowered.
You weren't planning on hiding any infantry behind those walls when there's a million smart missile and airbursting fragmentation shots coming down at you. Just in general, I think
Tau players trying to explain how skill is required to play their army. Yes! Dynamic entry, who sucks in close combat now?
In the Tau are an army that Games Workshop struggle to balance. Only really doing shooting well does mean that they need to be good at it, but whenever they get too good at it, they just tend to obliterate their opponents without too much counterplay. So when they're strong can be a bit of a non-engaging.
They're pretty OP at the moment. Yeah, well, alright.
Faction to fight against. At least in 9th edition missions though, they do need to venture out of their deployment zone, and you can't just sit back with a castle of riptides like you could in 8th. Finally,
Necrons! These guys are the goats. I love the Necrons. They're probably my favorite faction all in all. Overall, these are my favorite faction probably. Necrons are so cool.
We come to the ancient robotic once rulers of the galaxy, the Necrons.
Yeah!
Perhaps the main reason that you don't want to go digging around too much in those mysterious green glowing catacombs. You might not necessarily like what you find there, as might not the rest of the people who happen to live on your world. Under the Silent King's rule, the
Necrons, because he can't keep a good robot down. Who needs flesh anyway? True!
Swapped their weak flesh for immortal bodies of living metal, though this did come with some downsides.
Necrons are Phyrexians. Phyrexia's Magic the Gathering, right? Dude, I need to do Magic the Gathering lore. It's on the list!
With the Catan doing a bit of a half-staffed job on most of the population, so now quite a lot of them do tend to be on the robot zombie side of things. At least they've still got a bit of fighting spirit to keep on getting up once you knock them down though, particularly if you wave a dusty glass orb in their general direction. Perhaps one of the most interesting of the Necrons is Trazyn the Infinite.
Hey! Trazyn the Infinite. Everyone keeps telling me that I need to look into Trazyn the Infinite lore specifically. Apparently he's like a fan favorite Necron character.
Who quite enjoys.
He just goes around gathering lore. He basically gathers lore. He's like me, except cooler and more dead and less human.
Is capturing various members of the other races for his great big collection.
Wait, he collects people? I thought he just collects lore. He goes around fucking kidnapping people for his collection? His collection of species and shit? Oh, that's cool.
He seems to acquire yet more ridiculous stuff every time Games Workshop teases it in the lore.
God, I love him so much. He collects entire battlefields. What does that even mean? Okay, I have to do Trazyn lore. God damn it.
Maybe he'll let Creed out of the Pokeball at some stage.
What?
The guy deserves a bit of time off after the fall of Cadia to finish that cigar.
He went to Cadia before it got annihilated to steal some of the people that fought in the Battle of Cadia, put him in stasis so he could have like a freaking trophy from Cadia? His trophy is a dude at the verge of his planet being destroyed in stasis? I love him so much now. That is so cool. Awesome in-game and $55 for 50 points.
In-game, the Necrons started out with a really underwhelming codex in 9th, though Games Workshop has given them a whole load of points drops to make them halfway decent again. In a massively mysterious coincidence.
It's not trophies, he preserves history. Well, I guess so. God damn.
Somehow the Flayed Ones have got both to be one of the better units in the codex, and one of the single most expensive things that you can buy in 40k for the points. They have managed to breach the territory where you're paying slightly more than $1 for every point of models that you have on the board.
God damn.
Still though, a fair bit of their codex.
Don't compare me to a hammerhead, please. Matt Ward. Yes, his fluff is really... Wait, yes, his fluff really is that bad.
Could use a bit of love. I guess if you go by the lore though, they could always call in their Blood Angel best bros to help them out.
Wait, what? What do you mean they're Blood Angel best bros? Did they allied one time, they allied up one time against Tyranids, right? He said the Grievous line in canon? What? He said this will make a wonderful addition to my collection. Or whatever the fuck. He actually said that in the canon? That is so sick.
I think that's round about all of them.
Yeah.
So I hope you've enjoyed a very slightly less sensible tour of the various...
That was a very nonsensical introduction to all of this shit, and I really appreciate it.
Various factions
because memes are the language of democracy. I don't remember the quote anymore, but it's gonna stick.
40k. Feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics if you'd like to see more.
Hell yeah. That was a banger. That was honestly a banger. The meme guide to every Warhammer 40k faction. Definitely check out Auspex Tactics. This was a great video. I really enjoyed it a lot. And goddamn, dude, I love Warhammer lore. I just love Warhammer lore. And the memes bring it to life. It includes the community's perspective of the lore as it evolves over the times. So I'm glad we did this. Let me know future videos you want me to cover in the comments. Stay weird, fam. I will consume all lore. Bye-bye. If you made it to the end, click one of these 2 videos, which also will definitely get me canceled. See you live on Kick. Stay weird, fam.